I'm Vic.
I'm Jamie.
And we are Aussie Blokes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Woo!
Thank you, Chicken Skin, for the intro music.
Yeah, thanks, Chicken Skin.
Yeah, love it. We love Chicken Skin. Now. Oh, all right. Okay. Great, Victor. Great. Now, talk about an unlimited budget. We've had a funds injection this week.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a chance to have our first guest on the podcast.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we talk about a multi-generational podcast. Well, today we've got three.
Yeah.
So it's not just me and Vic, it's me and Vic and my dad, Adrian, the man with the golden microphone. No expenses being spared to get him here. He happened to be here anyway because he was seeing the kids, but he's here.
The golden guest.
Oh,
golden
look
guest.
at the microphone too. He's got the golden microphone.
Golden guest.
I am worthy of it, though.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should decide that. Yeah. Anyway, no, thank you for being here, Adrian. It's we've had some great times on the podcast, and I'm sure it'll be very interesting tonight. Now, when me and Victor talked about getting you on, we just thought it could probably go anywhere. This could probably go anywhere. But anyway, this could be so random that it's just might not be able to put it out into the internet space. But let's have a crack and we'll see. So we're going to ask Adrian, Poppy, some questions.
Yep.
What do you think? What do you reckon we just kick straight off with some questions?
Yeah. Let's.
But don't make them too difficult. I'm not that smart. Excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll say Victor. So can we get some studio audience participation in there?
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, let's go.
Control yourself. Seriously.
There's no cheering?
Okay.
No cheering?
I think there's no cheering.
Oh,
yay.
yeah.
Thanks, kids.
Thank you, guys.
Cool kids.
Right.
Shoot the kids.
Thanks very much for that.
Okay.
Welcome, Adrian. Thanks for stopping by.
Absolute pleasure to be here.
Mm-hmm. Victor, kick it off.
Okay, so first question. Abraham Lincoln died in 1865. What were your feelings at the time?
Wow. That's a pretty good question, young fella, but my feelings at the time were... I actually know who shot him, and I was thinking about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now that you've asked the question, his name was John Wilkes Booth.
Oh.
And I would have thought he missed him because Abraham Lincoln used to wear those really, really tall hats. And I think he aimed at his head and missed him a couple. But in the end, he did get him. But it was tragic, really. It's one of those things that's happened in life, but it was really a tragedy. He was a fantastic president, freeing the slaves, all that sort of thing. But
hey,
there you go.
Hey, Pop's looking all right for being around in 1865.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just wondering, this guy's name's John Wilkes Booth, right? Is that the guy that they named the phone booth after?
No, that was Superman. Anyway.
Oh, thank you, crowd. That's really good. Okay, what else you got, Victor?
So, what were your feelings on using an inkwell and quill?
How old do you think I am? Actually, Victor, you are incredibly correct because when I did start primary school, we then used to have pen and ink. And you used to end up, after you've been writing most of the day, you used to end up with ink stains all up your finger. And people might laugh these days. And Victor, you probably thought it was a question I mightn't be able to answer, but I actually used them when I was at school.
Yeah, so you actually thought you were being funny. Right? But it was actually a really good question.
It was a really good question. It was a relevant question, yes.
I think that's totally inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, Victor, so
It's
stop
totally
it.
totes inappropriate.
Totes and approach. Totes and approach and shit.
Victor. Right. Now we're going to get some complaints about you swearing and
Yeah,
stuff.
we won't have that.
So, yeah, we're pretty unpolitically correct in here. So, but hang around. You might like something that you hear. Anyway, so, Adrian, I know you're an automobile enthusiast. What was your first car?
First car was obviously, I've always been a Holden man. I don't think I'll ever change. As you get later in life, your opinions change. But the old Holden was a 48 215. I remember it so well because it was actually hand-painted black and it had leopard skin door trims on it. And the only reason I found that they were originally painted grey, and when I was cleaning the car after I got it, I started cleaning the door skins and found out there was all leopard skin print underneath them, so I did clean them up and they came up really well.
Was that a factory option?
I don't really think so. I don't think they had leopard skin upholstery on their list. No, they didn't.
So we were going through a few photo albums recently, me and Vic, and we saw some photos of you, and you had shoes on, and they looked like a Manly Ferry size shoe each. Like is it a Rumpelstiltskin or someone like that? They were really long, but I'm thinking the leopard skin motif. I reckon in the photo where you got the really long shoes on, you probably got some leopard skin undies on.
I probably did have, on either that or they were stained badly. I'm not sure.
Right. You might want to get that check that out. So if we're talking 48 215, are we talking FJ or FX?
FX.
Oh, okay. That's the original Holden.
Is the term they use for it. The correct name is 48 215. Because that was when it was introduced, 1948, and 215 was the sedan body style, if I'm not mistaken.
Did you help develop that Holden, Adrian, very much, or did you just consult with Henry Ford on the Model T?
Did I, sorry?
Did you consult with Henry Ford on the
Model T? That's it. Oh my God, I'm getting old every time they ask a question. But anyway, no, I didn't consult with Henry Ford. I mean, he understood I liked Holden, so there you go.
If we keep going, you might have discovered Australia with Jimmy Cook at Turnell.
Excuse me, you don't know him. You don't know him well enough to call him Jimmy James, if you don't mind.
Victor.
Yeah?
Over to you.
Oh.
Hey, listen, if you're going to be the producer of the show, you want to have a crack. There are a lot of people lining up to replace you.
They are.
They're
banging on the door out there. I can hear them. I'm sorry, that's a win.
We've got a very big fan base, Victor.
We have.
So Bob, how did you annoy your parents when you were younger?
Oh, that's easy. Ask them for something to eat. A lot of people probably don't know that I come from a large family. We had originally 12 in the family. They were, a few unfortunately passed away, but we whittled it down to 9, and we lived in the Housing Commission place in Westmead. And I must say that even though sometimes we felt as though we could have been fed a little bit more, we understand, as you grow older, you understand that it's incredibly difficult to feed 11 people in a household. But we managed, and we came through it virtually unscathed. We've got, I think, our ethics and our work ethics, and our morals have come through very, very well. We've managed to have a look at life as it is, and we've come through it very well. I'm very, very happy with the way that not just myself, but my family, and of course my son and his family, and my daughter and her family, all that, it's been fantastic. It's lovely to see everybody.
Do you feel that your work ethic has come from being creative in stealing stuff without getting caught?
It's not really true, but there's a little brother.
Little story about my... Let me guess. George?
No, actually it's not. It's about my eldest brother, Darryl. Unfortunately, he's passed, but he
got shot stealing something.
Yeah, he was actually in a store in the city, and he was shoplifting. I admit he was shoplifting. But as he was going out, he'd stolen a clock, and the alarm went off. So immediately the people in the store thought, hello, what's that guy doing with the clock? Anyway, he got caught, and I think that was the last time he ever stole.
Oh, Vic, that was a perfect opportunity to use the crow's sound. Oh, was that the noise it made, Adrian, the crow's? That's really good timing, Vic.
Oh, my goodness. Can you get with the program, Vic? Thank you.
Wait, Dad. Wait, Pop.
Grandpa, Pop. Oh.
POV, you ask for food.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
I
So,
think
Pop.
Victor's saying every time you ask for food, you got to slap.
So,
Yeah.
Pop,
Yes?
who's your favourite child and why am I?
Do you mean grandchild?
Who's your favourite grandchild and why am I?
Oh, okay.
I don't even know where Victor is tonight. Have you seen him?
No, I feel like it's a shadow
He
of
might
his...
as well not be here.
I feel-
Is he producing this show?
I
Because
feel
I'm
like
not sure.
we are lucky we're not paying him.
No, he's doing a great job, and you really cannot have favourites when you have grandchildren or great grandchildren. I love them all equally. It's been absolutely we're blessed with the kids, the grandchildren that we have. It's always a pleasure to come and see them and their mum and dad. And unfortunately, we've got to go home tomorrow, but with a bit of luck, it won't be long before we're back here again.
Hey, this podcast takes off. He might be down here regularly making appearances.
that'd
We'll
be
see
nice.
how we've got a really broad... We've been getting some messages from people all over the world listening to our podcast, so it's been fantastic, haven't we? Yeah. Oh, that's those people calling in. Yeah. Okay. You were 16 years old when JFK got assassinated. What were you thinking?
Tragic. I immediately thought, what a tragic thing to happen. Admittedly, JFK had a reputation as a player, a womaniser.
What's the matter with that?
Obviously nothing. He enjoyed it.
Marilyn Monroe was it?
Marilyn Monroe, but
Hello.
he sang him happy birthday, and he thought all his birthdays had come at once. But apart from that, the fact that he was a player, I've watched a few shows, either starring himself or actors portraying JFK.
Do you think they based the Aussie show Alvin Purple on JFK?
I don't know, because it was very risque in its day.
He was running around
very
dodging
risque,
people.
like,
I can't believe you let me watch it.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I can't believe you were watching it. I don't remember that. But anyway, no, he was a fantastic man, a great man, and tragedy was shot.
Now, a lot of the stuff that I know we joke about stuff, right? but he just seemed a really popular president.
Oh, he
That's
was extremely popular.
Yeah, yeah. Another thing too, you were 23 when they put the first man on the moon.
I remember like it was yesterday.
Really? What happened yesterday?
I don't remember yesterday. No, why you asked me about that? Was that the questions?
Yeah.
Anyway, landing a man on the moon, or men on the moon, I thought was incredible. There was a lot of doubt. A lot of people thought it was fake. A lot of people said, rubbish. I didn't. I've always believed it from the start. I still believe it to this day, and I think it was an incredible achievement. As far as I'm concerned, to put a man on the moon, even though it was about the space race and Russia and all that sort of thing, I thought it was an incredible achievement by America.
Do you remember where you were when you saw it?
I do, actually. I was standing on Mars at the time.
I was wagging school collecting golf balls.
No, wait a minute, I was 23 then.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's right, I repeated first class. I was still in first class. Had to repeat a lot of classes, but that's all right.
You got time off from the detention centre.
I did, I got time off, yeah, that was great.
All right, Vic, what you got over there?
60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. What was the best era of music?
I believe the 70s. A lot of people, it was all fantastic music. I think it was a great era for all genre of music, fantastic music. I have a particular song that I used to love, driving along Parramatta Road, listening to the song, but Billy Jack singing Seasons in the Sun was a fabulous song. I don't know if you guys will know it, but if you look it up, I think you will enjoy it even today.
We had joy.
We had fun.
Seasons in the sun. Driving down Parramatta Road, looking at the car.
I used to lick the windows. That's how jealous I was of triple carburetors.
What was the holding out when you were driving down Parramatta Road at Sutton's? Homebush. What was the Holden that was out then that you were listening to
That was
seasons
incredible.
in the
That
sun?
was Monaros, like HJ Monaros.
Oh, you had a couple of those.
No, I had HT. I had HT Monaros, but unfortunately my wife couldn't drive a manual, so I had to get rid of one of them.
Three on the tree with a
Three on the
vinyl
tree
roof.
with, it was an unbelievable
You
condition.
know, there's going to be like, because we got a lot of millions of listeners and watchers, and there's the demographics are mixed. There's some people here going, what the hell are these idiots talking about?
I can only hope that you're with us because the age differences, but when you look at this table where we're sitting, look at the generations and look at the people and look at the opinions that everybody has.
Yeah.
All different opinions.
There's a lot of mixed opinions around this table, I'll
Mixed
tell you.
opinions, yes.
Yeah. Victor, what else we got? Oh,
So, what's a song that sticks in your head from your teenage years?
Well, I already told Billy Jacks was one of them, but
yeah, but weren't you 23?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that wasn't, that was like above your youth. Young
very,
adults.
very, very good song. Elvis Presley was great. It's Frank Sinatra. I love My Way.
Yeah.
We love the King.
We love
Yeah.
the King. We do love the King.
We love the King.
I mean, I think if you're an Aussie bloke, most Aussie blokes love the King.
Mm.
But no, I loved most things. Frank Sinatra, even I got my son loving Frank. We used to sit out on Saturday nights, sometimes Friday nights, sometimes Saturday, and we used to drink the Tuies.
Can you not say how many?
Okay.
And also,
We're not
and
gonna
it
say
was,
how many.
it was probably
We're not gonna say
it
how
was
many.
actually a Wednesday night.
It might have been midweek, I don't know. But having said that, we never ever missed work because we'd been on the drink.
I heard a good saying today, right, with one of my colleagues at work. Hello, Steve. This is if you're having a crack in the night time and you go to work, it's if you're going to be big at night time, you've got to be big in the morning.
Exactly right. And we were big in the morning,
Yeah.
especially our heads.
Oh, no, that was good. But how did we even get to that? What were you talking about as songs and stuff? Oh, Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra. We used to sit out and listen to the music, and Frank Sinatra was one of the things we used to listen
On
to.
a CD player.
Ooh, Frank Sinatra. I did it my way.
He did actually too, yes.
Yeah,
they were
Vic.
good times. My
So
son
much-
and I were sitting out there, and my wife sitting inside watching television, and our neighbour, we had some good neighbours, and he used to be tempted sometimes. We'd just put a schooner of something on the fence for him, and he'd say, no, I don't want that. But about 10 seconds later, it was all gone. We'd say, geez, wombats have been here again. But anyway,
Bobby used to go, I'm not drinking with
I
you.
know, I'm not
but-"
drinking with you blokes, you drink too
But we
much.
were very young. We weren't very young then. It's been a long time since I've had a beer.
Yeah, good times. Very, very good times.
Thank you, Budvar from the Czech Republic too.
Yes,
we
yes,
love your beer. We're very multicultural. We're not
all sponsors
multicultural.
will-
We're not We're not racist.
We're open to sponsors.
Yes. Budvar, we love you. Yeah.
We love you, Budvar.
Oh, you're not allowed to say that.
You aren't allowed to say
Responsible.
that.
Drink responsibly. Oh, actually.
That's the non-alcoholic version.
Yeah,
that
there
Victor's
isn't.
Yeah.
There is a non-alcoholic version of
Yes, that's the
Budvar.
non-alcoholic version we're
We
talking
love the Czech Republic. They make good beer. All you craft beer companies out there, you wish you made beer like the Czech Republic makes beer. Anyway, shall we go on? Let's not talk about beer too much. It's the family show.
Family show, exactly right.
You're up, Vic.
So, I have a question. How did you meet your wife, your grey-haired wife,
Well,
also
gee,
my,
you know what?
my nan?
I'm glad you asked that question.
I thought it was blue.
It's a very very good question, Vic. I remember I was, I think I might have told you boys, I was training for the Olympics at the time, and I was ice skating at Homebush as you do when you got to train, and I can hear this. Sorry.
Can I just... You hid that really well from us as kids. But anyway, please continue. I'm not doubting you for a moment.
You know, I didn't want to brag. I didn't want to brag to my kids. That anyway, I was skating around, and all I could hear was Adrian, which is of course my name.
Was Rocky Balboa fighting that night?
No, he wasn't. He didn't go Adrian.
I was very feminine. It was a very feminine voice.
And then my wife and I,
Your future wife.
my future wife and I, got introduced to each other, and we made arrangements to go to the movies the following Saturday. And it was, I remember we met at Granville, and I...
Was that like Gone with the Wind or something?
No, that's the book I read.
Oh, I don't reckon you've
Once.
read Gone with the Wind.
Anyway, we got there, and I honestly couldn't remember what she looked like. I don't think she remembered what I looked like either, but we ended up
can I just stop you for a second?
Yeah, of course.
I know what you look like. You were like a really tall, lanky, thin guy with like really, really long shoes.
And a white sports coat.
Yeah, and leopard skin hubcaps.
Hubcap. Anyway, we ended up, the first movie we saw was Elvis Presley with Kid Galahad. And
Wasn't he a fighter in that one?
he was a fighter, yeah. He
Yeah.
got hit 97 times before he threw one punch and knocked the other boxer out. But anyway,
Elvis could do anything.
he could do anything.
He could
I
drive
don't
a
think he wore his blue suede shoes in the ring though, because if the bloke stepped on him, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's right. He could drive a speedboat.
He could race a car.
He had a good twin that was a blonde. He could race a car. You know, he could do all these things, but he didn't even know how to leave America.
And sometimes when he raced cars, he almost beat them. But
Oh,
anyway.
right. Oh, did you actually?
That's Victor. Hello, Victor.
Oh, thank you, Victor. Victor, do you feel Poppy answered your question?
Like half yes, half no.
Pop, hey,
50-50.
hey, Pop,
Okay,
we
50-50.
need the other half of the answer, Pop.
Which is...
Because I spoke to Mum the other night, right?
Yes, yes.
And like...
He still does speak to us.
Number one, well, he doesn't speak to you anymore.
Somebody's got to speak to her.
I've got to be the go-between. Right. So I spoke to Mum the other night, and there's a few things in question here. Now I said, Mum, you know you could come on the podcast and like clear the air completely, and our millions of loyal listeners and watchers probably will believe you. She goes, I'm not coming on, no shit. I said, why don't you want to come on? She goes, I just don't want to come on, that's it.
Don't want to.
Hey,
I
hey,
don't
hey.
want to come.
Hey, right. So, she said, I only called out to him because it was a bet, and I was going to win 25 cents. No, and that was a lot. For 25 cents, she said she would have got a hot dog, some skate hire,
Yeah.
and a taxi home,
Yeah, probably
and a
would.
motel room.
And still have the change.
Yeah.
Hot dog in my hotel room.
Anyway, no, that might be true. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. So, you're cool with that, Vic?
Yeah.
All right.
The
Yeah,
answer's
that's pretty
okay.
good.
All right.
Okay, now, very important question here. I think you know it because you're probably reading it out
not
here.
really.
and
I can't read from here.
I left it up. It's a long way away, sorry. Richard Pryor or Rodney Roode?
No comparison, Rodney Roode. You know Rodney Roode, don't you?
Yeah.
Terrific. I loved him in person. We actually, my son and I went to see him with a few mates a long time ago at Smithfield RSL.
I think we saw him a few times.
We saw him a couple of
That was one
times.
of the most
but I think the funniest time was at Smithfield. He was fantastic. I believe he lives in Wollongong. I also believe that his wife wrote a lot of material for him. He was maybe still is. I don't know if he performs live. I don't think so anymore. Very, very good. I loved him to bits. I only hope he's travelling well. I hope he's okay.
Absolutely hilarious. When you talk about how big your family was before, it always makes me think about the joke where he said for Christmas Day they used to have octopus, right? And that because the way everyone got a leg.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, can I say one more thing of his? Because
Of
this is great. When he goes, wasn't he the fire chief at Mullumbimby? Or he's a fire chief.
Yeah.
He goes to rescue a lady, and he goes, you're the third. You're the fifth. You're the fifth. Okay, the fifth. You're the fifth pregnant lady I've rescued this week. She goes, I'm not pregnant. He goes, you're not fucking rescued either. Anyway, we might have to edit that out. Like Rodney would say. Rodney would say we might have to edit that out.
Why?
It's a funny joke. It's a funny joke. It is a funny joke.
It's funny.
No.
Don't get rid of it.
No.
Oh, okay. We won't get rid of
That's
it.
funny.
You're the producer, so. Anyway, I'm hoping you produce something tonight before we finish.
No, it's a terrific thing to be with your son and your grandson doing this sort of thing. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, if you saw, like, it's not like we set this thing up in 5 minutes either. We've been a lot of cursing behind the scenes, a lot of working out technical stuff because, well, I don't know what I'm doing. Thank Vic here at 11 years old. Thanks for
Vic's
helping me
incredible.
with the technology, bud.
Vic's incredible. I interrupt my son for 1 second. I only hope that...
Won't be the first time.
No. It's probably the best time, though. I only hope that Vic can play a guitar for you sometime during this podcast. He's really, really good. And for 11-year-old kid, like, he's awesome. And without having the music with him or anything like that, I think he's great. But then again, I am biased.
Yeah, but he's a good chip off the old. Like, there's a lot of talent. It's very palpable.
His mother, yes.
The talent in this room is very palpable. You can cut it with a knife. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, now, on a serious note, me and Vic, the whole idea for this podcast was born during COVID. So we're all at home during lockdown. Victor can't go to school. Barry can't go to school. We aren't working. So Victor and I used to come up the shed, have a little campfire and talk about stuff. And that's what we did, right? So we thought maybe some of this stuff we're talking about people might want to listen to, and it was good. But what we just want to have a little mental health focus about it. Now, the reason for that is that it's really important, something that we all believe in. I know people from, and you might be able to say something about this, Adrian. What was the thinking around mental health and talking about your problems as a bloke when you were growing up?
We didn't. We didn't talk about it because I think the problem today is, and this is maybe just my opinion, maybe opinion of a lot of people as well, but the social media, the people that get on the social media and bully kids or bully adults or whatever the case may be, I think it's absolutely tragic. Unfortunately, some of these kids believe some of the stuff they're being told, which again is totally, totally tragic as far as I'm concerned. I just hope that they realise they can go and talk to someone, or they should talk to someone, and I hope they realise that there's always someone who will listen to them, who loves them dearly, and they should never let these people on social media buzz them in the ear and say blah, 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 bullied, whatever. People that you love, just remember that you're all loved. Somebody loves you. Okay?
No, you're totally good. No, it's a good point. The thing about social media, it's like a double-edged sword. It can be used for positivity and negativity. Now, there's not a lot of accountability around what people say. Now, if you offended somebody and you knew where these people live and you rocked up and punched them in the face every time they said and challenged you or for a fight, I think a lot of things would change. But
we're not advocating violence.
No. But with the way some people carry on, you can just tell they just live in a parallel universe that they've had no hardship, no struggle, never really been in a fight. They wouldn't know how to look after themselves. We talk about this is one we always talk about when the zombies come.
Yeah.
You people, who are social media warriors, that's great. When the zombie comes, you'll be the first to get eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like zombies get like bullied from social media.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
know
like
why?
they use it.
Because you got no skills. Get outside in the sun and maybe learn some skills. Anyway, Vic, any mental health tips today?
Maybe, well...
What do you like to do?
Oh, music. Music's great for your mental health, listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It doesn't matter what sort of genre of music you like. It's just, like, great for your mental health because you're, like, processing all the different sounds and instruments, and it's great for your mental health.
Mm-hmm. So, would you say, to carry on from that and to add to that, you would say maybe when you wake up in the morning, if you're not feeling a little bit good, maybe play a song that you like?
Yeah, maybe set the song that you like as an alarm.
Oh, I did that.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
do
idea.
that as well.
That's a good idea. You wake up to something you really like.
Yeah.
Wake up to something you really like. That's a great piece of advice, Vic, and that's lovely. Yep.
Yeah, set the song that you find
Set
upbeat
the, set
or
the tone
uplifting.
for the day. Just
Yeah.
set the tone for the day.
Yeah.
You love whatever happens. Don't forget, people love you.
Oh.
Okay.
And we love you. Thank you for listening.
Thank
and
you
if you're
for
listening, if you're listening and you'd like us to talk about something, let us know. Let us know where you're listening from. We're just blokes in a shed talking about stuff, right? You know, we're having a crack. A few Aussies having a crack. Hey, Vic.
Yeah, just a few Aussie battlers having a crack. and
Little.
shit.
I'd just like to say before I go, it's been an absolute pleasure to have my son and my grandson ask me questions, and that was totally unrehearsed, believe it or not. We didn't. I didn't know the questions they were going to ask me.
Well, we had to pay you hourly rate, and we couldn't
that's
have
right,
any
and-
rehearsals. We couldn't
know-
have any rehearsals.
You know, John Laws is my agent. That's all.
Hello, world.
Hello, Will, and goodbye, Will.
Anyway, all right. Thank you for everybody for listening. Let us know. I just want to say one thing before I go. We all do this here. Read some books. Educate yourself. You know, if you've never read a book before, that's cool. Send us a message. Tell us how old you are. We'll send you some suggestions to read. You know, my parents, my father, my mother passed it on to me that we like to read. My kids like to read. It's not old-fashioned. It's a good way to learn. I'm going to finish on that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vic.
Well
Hit us,
done.
Let's do the outro. I'm going to hit the outro button.
yeah, hit us with the outro music, buddy. Good job, everyone.
Very good. We did all right. It didn't seem like we'd done it before, did it?